No, I'm not going to say that this morning just because you said it. Here it comes. Hi, y'all. See? For those of you who are prepared for it, good morning, children of God.
Good morning.
Howdy. When in doubt, have fun. A good idea makes space for itself, see? This is what you do. Good ideas show up. Take the filter off. The filter is the one I'm talking about, is that prevents you from being who you really are and being authentic. And weird works. Just say it. I know we could, yeah, we're practicing down here. Hello. Oh, that was Bill. We're going to have a lot of ideas today, I just can tell. It's just one of those kind of Sundays, first of the month. I tell you what, let's do. Let's stand joined together in the silence. In this moment, love is here, peace is here, truth is here. And we take a moment and breathe and know God is here. O loving Father, Mother God, we acknowledge your presence moving in and through us this day. We choose to be open, receptive and responsive to your instruction and to your guidance. This day we are grateful for the opportunity to come together, to worship, to sing, and to pray in the name, in the nature, and in the power of the Christ. Amen.
Today's daily word is oneness, and this morning Donna Hunt will be reading our daily word for us.
Good morning, everyone. I am one with all that is. Gazing into a pool of water, I see my reflection. I smile back at myself, viewing the uniqueness of my face. I dip my hands into the cool water. As the droplets filter through my fingers, I am in awe of how connected I am to my surroundings. I am much more than my reflection. I am one with God and with all of creation. The majesty of divine creation is evident in my surroundings as well. God created me to be strong. Sadness, illness, and worry have no place in my life. Relying on my divine powers of wisdom, understanding, and love, I align myself with the good in every situation. I am one with all that is, and I am at peace. For in the one Spirit we were all baptized into one body, Jews or Greeks, slaves or free, and we were all made to drink of one Spirit. 1 Corinthians 12:13. I have something I want to share with you. I love writing. It's as easy for me to write as it is to breathe. But in this one that I'm going to read to you, the title, I've changed it 3 times. First time it was Things I Learned. Okay, that was okay for a while. Then I said, no, I went to Awakening. Okay. And then finally, in the Bible, there's a verse that says, in everything give thanks. That was it. So this is it. In everything, give thanks. I know if any shadow clouds my day, the God of my being is ever present. Nothing in the outer world is beyond the power of God's ability to help me see the truth of who I am. I know it's easy sometimes to feel like a victim when in a challenging situation. However, when I choose to be positive, trusting, and stay spiritually centered, I can regain control of my life. And when I allow God to fill my mind, my body, and my soul with the courage to move forward, I am free to make healthy choices and to receive the freedom to live truth. One of the things I learned to do was let go of personal striving. Trying to do it all by myself was not the way. In releasing all concerns and believing that God would show me the way, God did indeed show me the way. I was able to see ways to express new possibilities and begin to enjoy life. The path to truth is different for each of us. What is the same is that perfect health and wholeness is our natural state. Life is a gift, and finding our truth is a privilege. No matter how confusing, how discouraging, or how great the challenge, remember the difficulties that come along will fade and dissipate into nothingness as we replace fearful uncertainty with faith believing. We are connected to something beyond our humanness. Call it Spirit's guidance, call it intuition, call it faith, call it whatever, and know that it is a higher rise of our inner being, a higher calling to expand into what we are intended to be. We save ourselves by knowing the truth of who we are, and God will lead us to this knowing with our willingness. I have been in situations in my life when events made absolutely no sense at all. Adversities that seemed as if they could have been avoided if things had gone the way I thought they should have, but didn't. The lesson I learned here is to trust God. God is over and above all that God created. There is always a way to meet life's challenges, to rise above the appearances of limiting circumstances. Remember, there is only one power, God the good. Thank you.
One can never tell what's going to happen next, and that's for sure and for certain. One of the things that I know is that the more I choose to be authentic, the more I choose to allow myself, the truth of me, to shine through, the more my world changes and I begin to see my truth. Let's take our statement together, our affirmation together. I am a child of the living God. I have within me the all-creating power of the Christ. It radiates from me and blesses all whom I contact. I am now in the presence of pure being and immersed in the Holy Spirit of life, love, and wisdom. I am now in the presence. Let's join with Steve. I believe in you. I believe. Lord, I trust. I have faith. We take these words of truth and now gently and easily move to that place within us that Jesus called our secret place, our inner closet. And as we enter in this day, we remember his instruction. Close the door. This day we close the door on those thoughts and feelings of what I should have done. This day I close the door on those feelings of what I have yet to do this day, and for one holy moment I rest, I breathe, and I listen. For it is here in the stillness and in the silence we affirm our oneness. In our prayers, we are learning to ask. Here in the stillness, in the silence, answers come. Each of us receives what we need, want, or desire in this moment, here, in this place of oneness. However, we need to listen. For these gifts may come to us in a word. Peace this day. Harmony this day. Love this day. It may come in the form of music which touches me and lifts me up. Regardless of how it appears this day, I know it comes to me wrapped in love. In this moment, all my needs are met, wrapped in love. I reach out, I say yes, and claim these gifts. And as I do so, I immerse myself in them. From the top of my head to the bottom of my feet, each and every cell of my being, each and every system, each and every organ responds to this love. In it I live and move and have my being. And I remember I am a channel through which good flows into my world. This day, in this moment, I open that channel wide. From me, through me, good flows. First, into this place, right here, right now. Joining with other thought of like mind, peace, order, harmony, abundance, touches each and every child of God. And in this knowing, I am blessed. I choose to continue to be a blessing from me, through me, from this place, into our community, wherever that might be this day. Into our city, touching, healing, blessing across our state. Across our country. And in this moment, I am blessed. I choose to be a blessing from me, through me. Love flows, good flows around our world, touching, healing, blessing. Across our universe, growing in strength and in power. In this moment, we affirm our oneness, and we know that in spirit and in truth, we are never separate one from the other. And in this knowing, somewhere, somewhen, someone is saying thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the gifts that have come from you, through you, are received. I am grateful, and that gratitude swells up and returns to you, the circle of love, the circle of life, oneness affirmed, and I am blessed. Knowing there is more yet for me to do this day, holding to this experience we have shared gently now, easily, effortlessly, I bring my attention back to this now, to this place. And from my heart, I join with you and pray as Jesus, our elder brother, has taught us, when he said, "As for you, pray therefore in this manner." And that'll be today's lesson. No, no. It's so much fun when everything comes together when you'll just get out of the way. Allow it to take place. When Donna asked if she could do this reading, it was, 3 or 4 weeks ago, I think, and maybe even longer than that. Then something came up and she couldn't, and I thought, okay, it's no big thing. And then she said, I'm going to do it today. I went, good, let's do it today. I did not know at that time that the daily word for today would be oneness. And what she read for us and presented to us from her heart was absolutely in alignment. Yay, God. Rob gets to sit down. Let's go have lunch. Almost. That's what it feels like sometimes. If I just get out of the way, the lesson will take care of itself. You will hear what you need to hear. You will feel what you need to feel, and hopefully you'll take something that you heard, felt with you, and put it to work. And that's what practical Christianity is all about. Taking the words of our master teacher and the ideas that he presented and say, this works today for me, right now, today for me. And one of the things he taught is what? Not I, but the Father within does the work. And for the first time in the history of mankind that held on, because I think the idea was there all along, but not always paid attention to, the notion of God out there was brought where it belongs, in here. God with you. God is all, both visible and invisible. We know that. And this one that is all is perfect. Life, love, intelligence, and substance. Man is, therefore I am, an expression of God and one with perfect life, love, intelligence, and substance. And all I have to do is put it to work. Or not. And I gave you the or not for those of you who aren't ready to yet. Okay, guess what? I love you. Guess what? You are loved. You can't get away from that. No matter what your choices will be. And I get this list a lot when I'm in. But Rob, if you only knew about... And then there's a long list. Then you wouldn't be able to say those things about me. And yes, I would. You see, it isn't about your list. It's about how you will overcome your list. And sometimes we need to go through what appears on the surface to be really horrific events in order for us to reach inside and live through it from the truth of us. Thank goodness we've had such a great teacher who did it already. I don't have to play that game. I don't need to suffer. What I do need to do is pay attention. Step through this. See only God in this. Only good in this. Regardless of the appearance, I am there. And I don't know about you, but for me, the more I watch the news, the more insane I could get. Right? The fun thing for me, and this may sound a little strange, but it's okay, it's Rob, is I take that as an opportunity to look through it. Where is the good in this? And sometimes I can't see it, I just can't. And I love it anyway. Because I'm open up to the idea that I will be able to see the good in it at some point in my expression, in my demonstration, in my lifetime. How many lives do I have? One. And it is good, and it is eternal. Now, I may change the paint job, but life is eternal. So as I move through it, what is my purpose is to learn to express that oneness, to express that goodness. It's why we spend the time that we do talking about being open, talking about you are the channel through which good flows into your world. That's the truth of you. And I need you. And you need me. We need each other. We are interdependent. How do I know that? Because we're all part of the one. Just as the 90 trillion cells, if our scientific brethren are correct, the 90 trillion cells that live in this body temple, they are all interdependent. They require each part to do its bit, if you will. And sometimes it does it really well, and sometimes I get in the way. And then I need to get out of the way and allow this body temple to do what it was designed to do. It's created in the image and likeness. Anything other than that is what? My misunderstanding of my connection with the one. Generally brought about unto the generations by false belief, error thinking. For those of you who really want to play this game, sin. Just error thinking, right? Okay, this is simple. How do I get out of sin? Change my thinking. Change my thinking. I take one thought, not the whole big picture, because sometimes that gets challenging. Just take one little thing. This day, right now, right here, what's one thing that when I change my thinking, when I can look through the appearance and see only the good of it, would change my life forever? One thing. Make it as small as you can. Why? Because you need the practice. Start with the small ones. Take a small one. Take the step through it. Eventually you'll get to big steps. It's okay. And quit beating up on yourself, by the way. Anybody who's been in truth more than 5 minutes has this problem. I just know I should do better than this. Right? Or am I the only one that ever had that thought? Just asking. Well, we've all had that thought, right? I know better than this. Yes, you do. So what? Give yourself permission not to get it quite right yet. You're a work in progress. We're all collectively learning how to express this truth of us. And some of us get it faster than the others. I've shared with you this one before, and every time I reread it, I keep hunting for another place in it. Is when our master said, the poor will always be with us. That still is fingernails on the chalkboard for me, but not quite so bad anymore. Because I had to keep translating it. What does that mean? Why are you saying that? Well, it's the poor thoughts. It's those things that show up in my experience that keep me, the filters sometimes, that keep me from expressing my authentic being, the truth of who I am. That's those poor thoughts. They'll always be with you. He should have put, and I think there's a piece that's missing, and when I finish my time machine, I'll bring it back to you. The poor will always be with us, comma, however, you like that one? You don't have to wait. See, I don't need to be poor. But I need to allow somebody else to go through it. See, because I can only share with you what works for me. And those who taught me share that which works for them, that I put to work for me, and share it with you. That's what we do. And hopefully, and I think you all do whether you know it or not, you share it with somebody else. And as a result, our whole world is lifted up. Sometimes we don't believe that because we're so stuck into the appearances of what's going on in our world. And we often ask that question. It was asked this morning, as a matter of fact, where is God in this? Well, how about in every place of it? But I need to look past it. I need to look past it to see the good. And the more often I do that, the more often I have a way to heal me. Because if it shows up in my world, here's the ownership part. If it shows up in your world, it belongs to you. Now, it is not your fault. You are not to blame for what shows up. It just is. Bring it home. What in me, where I were to change a thought, would change the outpicturing? Well, if my world's in turmoil, I guess what I need to have is a little peace. So I need to pay attention to peace. Be still. I need to be able to face my own troubled waters, the wind, the rain, and do what Jesus did. Rebuke them. I love that word. No, he didn't do it that way. He didn't judge them. He just said, no, this wind, this rain has no power over me. None. For the Father and I are one. And only good is here. And he created and formed in that moment a circumstance. You like that word? Round stand in it. That only peace lives. And the great thing is when you do that, everybody around you gets to experience it as well. Or not. Mostly they will. Because they're going, what's that? How do I get more of that? Breathe. That's how you get more of it. You live it. You step into it. Somebody told me the other day when I said step into it, they said, my problem is I think when I step, I end up going to get whatever it was off my boots. Look through it. Here comes the looking through it. Aren't you glad you had boots? See, we get hung up in the stuff. I'm standing, the filter's loose. We get hung up in that kind of stuff out there, and we just need to shift it, and it's okay. It's okay for us to understand that that's what we're going to do as well. Right? When in doubt, bring it home. If I see less than love in my world, what I want to do is shift it. So it begins right here, like this. Breathe. I love you. To your world, say, I love you. This time we mean it. I love you. No, we really mean it. I love you. Oh, that feels much better. Doesn't it? See, sometimes you need to say, somebody asked me not too long ago, how come you do everything in threes? It takes me 3 times to get it right. I need to make a shift because, sometimes we just say the words and we go, okay, that's nice. And the second time we go, well, maybe it is true. And the third time, hopefully, you're going, yeah, this is the truth of my being. To yourself, picture right here where you sit, body temple. I love you. Together? I love you. To that same body temple. I bless you. Together? I bless you. To that same body temple. I appreciate you. Together? I appreciate you. Now, from each and every cell of your being, from the bottom of your feet to the top of your head, and to each and every cell, from and to, in this moment, I behold the Christ. Together? I behold the Christ. And in that moment, only good is there. Carry that with you this week. I love you.
Thank you for listening. Please feel free to pass this message along to your friends and family. You can obtain additional audio tapes or CDs by visiting our website or by calling our office at 541-772-6902. We invite you to join us in prayer. We know that prayer works, and now you can send your prayer request to our prayer team here at Christ Unity Church by using the form on our website. The activities, programs, and services of this ministry are presented on a love offering basis. All gifts, regardless of size, are gratefully accepted. You may participate either by sending your gift to Christ Unity Church, 540 North Holly Street, Medford, Oregon, 97501, or by visiting us on the internet at www.unitymedford.org.